I can pretty much move and shake as necessary.
No, I can't see a thing, sir.
I'm going to come over there. Don't worry. I'm getting a shot of you there.
Yeah, I can see contrasting, but I can't see your face. Or
You can't, but you see contrasting.
Yeah.
How you been?
Just fine.
Good to meet you. My name is Gino.
Gino, hi.
Hi, Bill. How you doing?
Just fine.
Great. So
You're coming to the wonderful homestead.
Why do you say it's wonderful?
Well, I've been to other places in my long career, and this place is a real home. I've been to places with 150 patients and stuff, and they do everything from residence to assisted living, and then nursing care, and then the hospice, and the whole ball of wax. This place is very different. It's a home.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
Where were you before here?
Well, it was up in Plattsburgh, New York.
Yep.
We were there because one of our children lived up in Plattsburgh, but then things broke up, and I've been leaving either with my kids or staying at a place like this, and so I have a son on Nantucket, and we poked around and found the homestead, and boy, what a wonderful choice that was.
I'm so glad you're happy. Now, who's your son?
Mickey Rowland.
Mickey Rowland.
He does house designing.
Oh yeah.
His office is down on Commercial Wharf.
Okay, sure.
And Robin, I don't know if you know
Robin. Of course I know Robin.
Okay,
she's been on my. We've interviewed her before.
Okay,
Robin. She's terrific. Yes, I know
Robin's
Mickey.
my daughter-in-law.
I know them. I know them. I know Roland very well. So what did you do in your years? Bill?
Well, I was for a living.
Yeah, for a living.
I was a mechanical engineer, and we had our own company. My brother and I started a plastics company right after the war. And the plastics industry was very new at that point. There was not anywhere near the sophisticated developments that have had since then.
What was it like then? How would you describe plastics then?
Well, most people didn't know what they were even.
I know.
And anyway,
Must have been so exciting.
we started a company making sheets of plastic that were used for eyeglass frames and piano keys, all sorts. It was called celluloid.
Okay. Yeah.
And that it was a material that burned very quickly, so all the customers wanted to switch to non-flammable substitutes. And we were able to kind of lead the way in developing new materials to use as a substitute for the flammable, dangerous materials.
And where was this located? This
is all in New Britain, Connecticut.
New Britain, Connecticut.
Central Connecticut, where we were brought up. And the company has flourished. It's still functioning. It's still got it.
Is it still a part of you? Are you still?
No. I'm all separated from it now.
Yeah.
But it's the work is still going on, and they do products that most people would never see. But it's like we make the films that are used on highway signs to make them retro-reflect at night.
Oh, sure, absolutely. They make those, huh?
We're making Fresnel lenses that are used for solar collecting systems.
Really?
That's a very new. The last few years, it's become a very big item.
How are you keeping up with all this new tech? You know a lot about the technology still.
Well, we learned.
Yeah. You still follow
and we were smart enough to hire bright guys to work with us.
Oh yeah.
That was the key. I
So
think.
How old were you when you retired? Did you?
I retired about 10. I was 82. It was just 10 years ago.
Okay, good for you. You worked right up until you were 82.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than sitting around the house.
I agree with you. I don't know if I'd ever want to retire. You got to do something.
So
How did you connect to Nantucket? How did that all come about?
Well, my grandfather had a place on Cliffside, on Lincoln Avenue.
Oh, sure.
Overlooking
What was his name?
Platt.
Okay.
Frederick Platt.
Yep.
And At that time, that whole area was unbuilt, except for the Gilbreth Towers.
Oh, sure.
You know where the
Oh,
Gilbreth.
sure.
And so my mother and my aunt sweet-talked grandfather into buying the land down below on the other side of Jefferson Avenue, and building a house for him, for her, and also for my aunt. So, and then they threw in a tennis court for good luck.
Oh boy!
And so it was a nice little setup, and my parents called it Pa Govett because Pa gave it to them. So it's now called Pa Govett Lane.
Oh, is that right? That's cool.
Most people think it's an Indian name, but it really is a.
Oh,
it's just something that my mother and aunt originated in a way of thanking Grandpa.
Oh, that's terrific. So what were those years like? I mean, were you a youngster then, or?
Oh yes, we were there. The house was built when I was a baby. I guess with 1 year old. I think I've lived in that house summers all my life. Except that when the war came along, then that disrupted all of the,
sure.
the things, and I've been back summers.
Were you in the war, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But we always came back. We still own the house, the family does.
Sure. Oh, it does. Great.
And
that must be terrific for you.
Well, it is. And so, in fact, my daughter's coming down this afternoon with her husband, and they're going to work on the house and get it ready for some renters.
Okay, sure.
But there's a wonderful chance to get to see them again.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. So they come and see you often.
Well,
you get a lot of visitors here? I mean, you're in a central location. I mean...
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's surprising how many people have come. Mickey has quite a good-sized house, so he can put people up there. Or if there's a gang, they heat up the guest cottage and they can use that.
Oh, okay, I see. Sure. So what else did you do with your years? I mean, aside from work, I mean, you must have had some good times too, right?
Oh yes. Well, I'd gotten one of the highlights of my 10-second experience was having one of those Marshall 18 catboats. The Marshall Cat.
Yes.
There was a class of them at the yacht club.
You bet.
And mine was called the Carol Jean, and we raced Wednesdays and Saturdays, and that was really an exciting time.
You must know a lot. So you were a member at the yacht club.
Well, as a matter of fact, I couldn't afford it. But my sister was.
Hey.
So I gave the boat to my sister.
Hey.
For the summer.
Oh, that's terrific.
It kind of was backhanded, but I got to race all the time with him. And I don't think the yacht club would approve of this.
Right. So what do you do with your day? I mean, what's a typical day like for you?
Right here?
Yeah.
Well, it's I can't read or do television.
So how do you handle that?
Well, I'm a member of the Talking Book Library.
Okay.
It's called the Perkins Braille and Talking Book Library. It's out of Watertown, Massachusetts.
Yep.
And they provide you with digital books for audio books, and it's a wonderful service. And it's used all over every state now has a digital library, and all you have to be is legally blind.
Yep.
to join it. And they send you a nice little machine that takes a cartridge that they send you. They send it, all of it's free, and about every 2 weeks I get 2 or 3 cartridges and usually very interesting books. So the talking book thing is really a big part of what I now do.
I believe it. Now, when did you start losing your sight?
Oh, about 5 or 6 years ago.
And how has that been? What's that? How would you describe that?
Well,
transition?
it happened pretty quickly, and at first I was all 6s and 7s, as you can believe. But now in 5 years I've gotten used to it.
What's 6s and 7s?
Well, I mean, I was all kind of upset.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, sure. But you've learned to adjust.
As you might be. Try walking around with your eyes shut for a while.
No kidding.
But
you know what? I got to say something to you about something though.
Yes.
I travel a lot, and when I'm in a foreign country and I can't hear everybody and hear what they're saying, I find that very liberating for my own thoughts sometimes, because I can actually think about things without being distracted so easily by what's around me. Have you ever thought of that it's in some way maybe your hearing gets better, or...
well, my hearing hasn't gotten better. I got a hearing aid
you
now.
do, but you seem to be picking up
And I can hear a bird right over in the corner here. I don't know which bird it is. Is it a cardinal, maybe?
You know, if I knew my sounds, I could tell you, but I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's a cardinal, yeah. Sounds like one. Well, listen, you're a fascinating gentleman. It was very nice to meet you.
Well, I'm glad. I hope you give a good boost to this place. It really deserves it.
We'll do it. Take care.
Okay.
Good to meet you, Bill. Gosh, what a nice guy.
Well,
you're inspiration.
Well, you know, I
what he is.
won't be able to watch this on you. I don't even own a TV.
Well, you'll be able to hear it. It'll just, you know, you're sitting on a bench. You know where you're sitting?
Yeah, you know that, right? I hear the TV. Huh? I know you'll do a good job.
You look great, by the way. Even though you can't see yourself, Bill, you have a wonderful smile. I'm serious. You are a handsome man. You must have been a very handsome man when you were younger. The ladies must have been... you probably had a problem with that, right?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't.